Hello friends, welcome to Learner's Planet. Friends, this is our 6th session for geometry workshop. We have done so many sessions, even in workshop, even in basic sessions, advanced session on geometry. And now I'm sure that you'll be gaining confidence in geometry because around 4 to 5 problems are always there as a part of CAT Quant every year. Okay, so further in this session I'll recommend you have your paper and pen with you. Try to solve the problems. You might have noted down all the points, concepts that we have discussed in all these sessions so far. So use them and let's begin this session now. Now let's take this question. You try this problem. Here PM is tangent to the circle and we have to find out Pn into Qn. O is the center of circle and R is the radius of this circle. So this information is given and using this information we have to find out Pn into Qn. The first thing that I'm going to do over here is I'm just joining M and Q, right? Now this angle must be 90 degree being angle in semicircle and this angle is also 90 degree, right? Now in the basic sessions I have used a theorem that is tangent secant theorem. Right? Here Pm square is equal to Pq into Pn. Okay. Now PQ, since we want Pn into Qn, we don't want PQ. So PQ I can write Pn minus Qn into Pn. Now this is Pn square minus Pn into Qn. This we want. So and this is actually Pm square. So Pn into Qn will be what? Pn square minus Pm square. Pn square minus Pm square. Pn square is what? Hypotenuse. Pm square is what? Perpendicular. So hypotenuse square minus perpendicular square will be base square. Base is what? 2r because r is radius. So base is 2r. That means the square is 4r square. So Pn square minus Pm square will be 4r square. That means Pn into Qn is 4r square. Right? So simple. We have used tangent secant theorem. This is tangent and PQN is known as secant because that intersects the circle at 2 points. Okay. So M square is equal to PQ into Pn, that is actually tangent secant theorem. We replaced PQ by Pn minus Qn and open up the bracket, put up the relationship of Pm square and Pn square and you are done. Right? Now we have this problem. ABCD is a rectangle such that AB plus AC is 5 AD. I assume this to be X, X, Y, Y and suppose Z. Okay. So AB plus AC is 5 AD and AC minus AD is 8. AC minus AD is 8. What is the area of rectangle? Now friends, area of rectangle will be X into Y according to us, right? Now we are given the two relationship between X, Y and among X, Y and Z, right? Now look at the options. All the numbers are integers, right? That means definitely X, Y and Z will be integers, right? Now what? X square plus Y square is equal to Z square, definitely. Pythagoras theorem. Now instead of solving these equations, putting down the values in this equation and then solving, it will be taking too much time. So what you can do, see X, Y, Z will definitely be Pythagorean triplet, right? Now Pythagorean triplet must be 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10 and more of that. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, 5, 12, 13. These are the basic Pythagorean triplets, right? Now just observe AC is actually hypotenuse and AD is one of the side. Hypotenuse and one of the side, right? The difference is 8. Where do you find that difference? See, 5 and 13. The difference is 8. That means AC is 13, AD is 5. AD is 5. That means this is 5. That means this must be 12. 5, 12, 13. Now, very easy to find out the area. Half of 12 into 5. I'm sorry, rectangle is only 12 into 5. That's 60. Right? If you start solving all these equations, then it will be really a time consuming process. Else you can do this problem in just 30 to 40 seconds. Okay, not much paperwork is required at all. Only x square plus y square is equal to z square. Then you need to think of the Pythagorean triplet, where difference between hypotenuse and one of the side is 8. Right? And you can very well verify AB plus AC. AB is what? 12. AC is what? 13. 12 plus 13, that is 25. That is 5 times of AD. That's 5 times of 5. Right? So assume over here, verify over here. That's done. Okay. Now friends, here we are having this problem. Here ABC is an equilateral triangle. This is incircle, this is circumcircle, and we have to find out the area of these regions. This is A, this complete region that's above this circle and between this circle and triangle. This circle is this, and this outer part of this triangle over here, right? Now we have to find out the area of region P, region Q, and region R, right? Now the first thing that we have to observe is, since this is an equilateral triangle, this area will be equal to this area, will be equal to this area, right? Similarly, this area will be equal to this area, will be equal to this area. So what is the strategy that we are going to use over here? See, to find out this area of the circle, that's okay. But to find out this area, what we can do? We can deduct area of this circle from this ABC, and after that we can do 1/3, right? By doing 1/3, see, by deducting we'll be getting this plus this plus this, right? Since all these three are same, so by doing thus that difference as 1/3, we'll be getting the area of this. Similarly, from the outer circle's area, if we deduct the area of this equilateral triangle and if we make it 1/3, then we'll be getting area of this, right? So now the strategy is clear. Now the main question arises, what is the radius of, what is the area of the circle and circumcircle, right? I assume the side of this triangle ABC is A, right? Now in the basic session, first session of the workshop, I have already told you how to find out the in radius and circumradius, right? What is in radius? I just write it once again. Area of a circle is equal to ABC by 4R, where ABC are sides and R is circumradius. Here, since this is an equilateral triangle, it will be A cube only, right? So A cube by 4R, and for an equilateral triangle, what is the area of that? That is root 3 by 4 side square. Side is what? A. Okay. So R is actually A by root 3. That is circumradius we got in the terms of side. Similarly, in radius we can find out. In radius, S is equal to we can say semi-perimeter into in radius, right? Semi-perimeter over here will be A plus A plus A, 3A by 2 into R, and what is actually area? Root 3 by 4 A square, right? So R is equal to A upon 2 root 3. I have done the derivation over here, but directly if you wish you can remember, circumradius is 1 upon root 3 of side, and in radius is 1 upon 2 root 3 of side. The ratio between circumradius and in radius is 1:2. That means in radius is 1 upon 2 of circumradius. In case of equilateral triangle I am talking about. Okay, that means precisely circumradius is double of in radius. Okay, so now we got everything. Now we have to find out the area of all the three regions. See, in case of P, area of triangle ABC, that is root 3 by 4 side square minus area of this circle, that is in circle, that is pi R square. So pi A square by 6, right? And 1/3 of this. Okay, this is the area of this portion. Okay, from this triangle I have deducted this circle. So root 3 by 4 a square, that is the area of this equilateral triangle, minus pi a square by, sorry, I've written this 3 into 4, it must be 12. Okay. Now then, area of Q, that is this circle, that is pi r square, that is a square by 12, is to area of this region. From the circumcircle, area of circumcircle, we need to deduct area of triangle. So circumcircle radius is a root 3. So pi a square by 3, that is the area of this circle, pi r square, minus area of this triangle, root 3 by 4 a square and by 3. Okay, so this is the entire calculation. In this particular question, the options are given in this format only. This 3, 12 and 3 are just simplified, nothing else. Okay, apart from that, the entire things remain same. With simplification is there, but the options are in this manner only. Since I have not used option over here, that's why I'm not writing them down, because unnecessary, it will be a time consuming thing, right? But this is how we can proceed with this sort of problems. And problem is really easy if you know the relationship between area and radius, circumradius. Nothing else we have to use over here. Okay, simple concept of this in radius, circumradius we have used over here. Okay, I hope you are clear. Now let's see this problem. Here we have to find out the value of x. Angle AOC is given as 50 degree. Angle O, suppose this is D. ODC is given as 30 degree. Now see here carefully. Now this angle, see this complete angle is 180. So if this is 50, this portion is 130, right? This portion is 130. Okay. Now in this triangle ODC, if this is 130, this is 30, so it is 160, so this must be 20. If this is 20, this must be 20, because OB is equal to OC, OBC isosceles triangle, right? Now in this triangle OBD, 30 is the exterior angle, and this 20 plus x should be equal to 30, remote interior angles. So x plus 20 is 30, that means x is equal to 10 degree. Okay, quite simple problem. Basic properties of circles we have just used over here. Now we have this problem. Circles shown in the figure are of radius 3 cm each. AB and CD are tangents to both the circles. CD is equal to 10 centimeter. What is the length of AB? One tangent is of 10 centimeter, other tangent, the length of AB we have to find out. Now P and Q are the centers of these circles. Now let's see. What we can do is I drop a perpendicular over here. It will be 90 degree. It will also be, just wait. Here what I do, I match PA and QB. Let's see. Now this angle is 90 degree. This angle is 90 degree. This length is 3. This length is also 3, because both the circle are of radius 3 centimeter. So PA is radius and QB is radius, right? Apart from that, this angle will be equal to this angle. That means it is SAA congruence, side angle angle, right? Or we can say AAS congruence. That means this will be the midpoint of line PQ. Okay. That means and here, from here we can say CD is equal to 10. That means PQ must also be 10. That means this length from this point to this point, I suppose this point is X. That means PX is equal to 5. Now in this right angle triangle, this point is X, this is 3, this is 5. That means AX is 4, right? Obviously this is the midpoint of AB. So if AX is 4, and XB will also be 4. So in all AB will be 8. Okay. Just a simple concept of AAS congruence we have used over here. Otherwise you can see there is no paper work required at all. Okay, I repeat once again. This is radius of this circle, this is radius of this circle, this is angle 90 degree, angle 90 degree, and these are vertically opposite angle for triangle APX and triangle XQP, right? That means these two triangles are congruent to each other. That means Px should be equal to x cube by CPCT, that is congruent part of corresponding part of congruent triangles are equal, right? So Px is equal to xq. Now Pq must be 10 as CD is 10. So if Pq is 10, Px must be 5 and xq must be 5. So this is 5, this is 3. That means in this right angle triangle, this must be 4, right? So if this is 4, this is 4, AB must be 8. Okay? Only concept has been used, no paperwork is required. Now let's see this question. Here, ABC is an isosceles triangle with AB is equal to AC. AC is equal to 10, that means AB is also 10. So this is 5, this is 5. If AO is equal to 5 centimeter, find the third side of the triangle ABC. Now these two sides are equal, that means I suppose this is point P, that means BP is median, right? Now BP is median and this is suppose AD. AD is also median, that means this point O is nothing but the centroid, right? So centroid actually divides the median into 2:1 ratios taking from vertex, right? So if this length is 5, that means O is 5, that means OD must be 2.5, right? So AD is actually 7.5. Now what happens? See, in case of isosceles triangle, actually median and altitude are same. That means AD is actually median and AD will only be altitude. So it's 90 degree angle. Now using Pythagoras theorem, we can find out DC and double of DC will be BC. That is the third side that we are looking for, right? So AD square is what? AC square is 100. Minus AD square is 7.5 square, that is 56.25, that is DC square, right? So that's actually 43.75, that's DC square. So that is that's 25 into 7 by 4, that is DC square. So DC must be 5 by 2 root 7, right? So DC is 5 by 2 root 7, that means BC is double of that, that means 5 root 7. Okay, so this is how we can easily calculate the length of the third side, that's BC over here. So what is the property that we have used over here? Centroid divides the median into 2:1 ratio starting from the vertex, right? From the vertex side it will be 2 part, from the side it will be 1 part. That means AO is to OD is 2:1, right? So this is the property of the centroid we have used over here. Okay. Now let's try this problem. Here a circle with center O is inscribed in an equilateral triangle ABC with side A. What is the area of the square inscribed in the circle? That means precisely, first of all, we have to find out the radius of this circle. This is actually what? In circle, that is inscribed in this equilateral triangle. So in radius, if we find out. So after getting radius, we can find out the diameter of this circle, and diameter of this circle is nothing but diagonal of this square, right? So diagonal, if side is x, the length of the diagonal will be what? Root 2x, okay? Length of diagonal is root 2x, and that is what? Diameter, right? And area of the square will be x square. Now what? How do we calculate in radius? Direct formula we have, various time we have used that. Area of this equilateral triangle will be given by root 3 by 4 a square. In other terms, area of this equilateral triangle is given by in term of radius is semi-perimeter into in radius. So semi-perimeter will be A plus A plus A, that's by 2, that is 3A by 2 into in radius, right? That is the formula. Okay, for any triangle, semi-perimeter into in radius is the area of that triangle. Okay, so in this case it is an equilateral triangle, and direct formula for equilateral triangles area is root 3 by 4 A square. So both of them will be equal. So A is equal to R upon 2 root 3. I'm sorry, R is equal to A upon 2 root 3. Okay, that means in radius is A by 2 root 3. That means 2R, that is diameter, will be A by root 3. Right? Now this is 2R, this is root 2x, and both of them represent diameter of this circle, or we can say diagonal of this square. Right? Now what we want? X square, that is area of this square. So root 2x is this. So 2x square will be A square by 3. Okay, so x square will be A square by 6. That will be the area of this square, right? Very simple calculation, only concept is involved over here. You need to learn this formula, S is equal to PR precisely. All the problems based on circumcenter, circumradius, in center, in radius, in circle, circumcircle, you need to learn this formula. Right? S is equal to PR and S is equal to ABC by 4R. Right? These two formula are very important. Here R is circumradius, here this R is in radius. Okay? After that, you'll be able to solve all the problems based on circles and triangles very easily. Okay? Now let's say this problem. Once again, looking tedious. Given a circle with radius R and the center O, OA is equal to 4R, OB is equal to 3R, and angle AOB is 60 degree. What is the area of the shaded region? Precisely friends, in this case we need to find out the area of this triangle, and from area of this triangle we need to deduct area of this circle. So we'll be getting the area of the shaded region, right? So how do we do that? And how do we find out the area of this triangle? We have already discussed a good number of times that sine formula to find out the area of the triangle, right? In this case, we are given this angle, that's 60 degree. We know this length OA, that's R plus 3R. In all, it is 4R. We know the length of OB, that is 3R, right? So two sides and included angle we know, then we can find out the area of this triangle, right? That's half sine 60 degree. Sine 60 degree is root 3 by 2. So half sine 60 degree and product of included sides. So OA into OB. So that's 4R into 3R. Okay. So that's 3 root 3 R square. Right. So this is the area of this triangle. Simply we have found out that. Now what we have to find out the radius of this circle. So from radius of this circle we can calculate the area of this circle, and after that to get this area of the shaded region we can deduct this. Now this for that what I do, just listen to me carefully. I join this point and this, then this. Okay, now what? Obviously this will be the radius of this small circle. Friends, here what is happening? See, these two triangles, they will be congruent to each other. Why they are congruent? Because this is the common side. This angle is 90 degree, this angle is 90 degree, and this is radius and this is radius, right? So that is side angle, right? SSA congruence. So if these two triangles are congruent to each other, that means this and this angle will also be equal. That means in all it is 60 degree. That means the each angle will be of 30 degree, right? So this angle, the half of the angle is 30 degree. Now we know this is R, the radius of this small circle. This angle is 30 degree. What is the length of this O? Suppose this is P. What will be the length of OP? See, from O to this point, maybe this is Q. OQ is actually R, that is capital R, that is radius of this bigger circle, right? And PQ is radius of the smaller circle, right? So from R, that is capital R, radius of bigger circle, if we deduct radius of smaller circle, we will be getting OP, isn't it? Shall I write this? OQ is equal to OP plus PQ. Now OQ is what? This. OP we have to calculate, and PQ is what? Small r. So OP is what? R minus R. Okay, so we got this length and this is small r that we have assumed. Now relationship between this and this, that is perpendicular and hypotenuse, is given by sine theta. Here theta is what? 30 degree, because we are just taking care of half of this angle. So sine 30 degree is what? 1 upon 2, that is perpendicular by base. I'm sorry, hypotenuse. So perpendicular is this and the hypotenuse is r minus r, right? So r minus r is equal to 2r. That means small r is equal to r by 3, right? So radius of this circle is actually 1/3 of the radius of this bigger circle, right? Now it's very easy for us to find out the area of the shaded region. Area of this triangle is 3 root 3 r square. Area of this circle will be pi r square by 9, right? Area of this smaller circle, radius is r by 3, so area will be pi r square by 9, right? So from this, if we deduct this, that will be the area of the shaded region, right? So not much calculation is there, because you don't have to write this thing. And this is unnecessary time and space wastage. So you just avoid writing all these. That for your reference I have written it only. And after that it's very easy. So using sine formula and the basic tangent property, we have calculated the area of the shaded region, right? So note down sine formula once again if you don't, if you haven't written it yet. So I think it's clear now. Let's take the next one. Now let's see this problem. You try it on your own. We have done good number of problems based on this concept. O is the center of the circle and triangle AOB is right angled. If area of triangle AOB is 54 units, what is the area of the circle? So precisely we need to find out the radius of this circle. Now the radius of this circle is what? Actually this OP, right? I join O and P. Okay. Now since AB is tangent to this circle, that means OP will be definitely perpendicular to that. Okay. Now I assume radius of this circle to be R. AP is suppose X and PB is suppose Y. Now see relationship between this and this, that is perpendicular and base, is given by tan theta. And here tan theta is what? Theta is what? 60 degree. Now tan 60 degree is what? Root 3. So root 3 is equal to r by x, perpendicular by base. Similarly over here, see this is 90, this is 60, that means this must be 30 degree. Relationship between this and this will be given by tan theta. So here tan 30 degree, that is 1 by root 3 is equal to r by y, right? So the total length of AB will be what? X plus y. So x is equal to what? R by root 3 and y is equal to what? R root 3, right? So precisely x plus y is 1 upon root 3 plus root 3 into r. Okay, or we can say 4r by root 3. Now area of this triangle will be what? Base into altitude. Now base is what? 4r by root 3. Altitude is what? R, and divide by 2, half base into altitude is equal to 54, that is given, right? So r square is 27 root 3. Okay, we want the area of this circle, so that is actually pi r square. So 27 root 3 pi, that will be the area of this circle. Okay, now depends upon the option, whether options are given in this pattern or maybe expanded form or whatever. According to that you need to choose. Okay, precisely the concept I have discussed over here. Okay, Now let's see this problem. Here in this figure, the ratio of GI is to IE is given as 2 is to 3. Angle GDE is 90 degree. This is A. We have to find out 10A and the different dimensions are given over here, right? So now let's try this. Let's complete the figure first. See, this is 90 degree. That means this must be 90 degree. Then this must also be 90 degree. That means ABCD. AB, maybe this point I assume to be H. It's a rectangle, right? So if it is 4x, it has to be 4x. Similarly, this is 90 degree. This is 90 degree. That means this must be 90 degree. That means, and these two lines are parallel. That means BCED, that is also a rectangle. Okay. Now what? This is 4x. That means this must be 4x. This is 2x. That means this must be 2x. That means this must be 4x. Okay. So this is 2x. So this length from DH, this is also 2x. Okay. And I missed one thing. It's x. HG is x. That's already given. Sorry for that. So in all, this complete length is 2x, 2x and x, right? Now what? GI is to IE. It's given to us as 2 is to 3. See, now this angle is 90 degree. This part is A, but this complete angle is 90 degree. That's already given. This is 3x. From D to G, this is 3x. This is 4x. That means this length must be 5x, right? Pythagorean triplets. So this complete length is 5x and GI is to IE is 2 is to 3. That means this is 2x is to 3x. Okay. 5x, if we distribute 5x into ratio 2 is to 3, it will be 2x is to 3x. Now once again, what we will be doing, we have to find out this length actually to find out 10A, because 10A is actually perpendicular by base. So we don't know this length. So DI we need to calculate. I assume this to be P. Right? Now this triangle and the original one is similar to each other. We have discussed this several times. Now if the two triangles are similar to each other, their sides will be in proportion, right? So I take this triangle DIG and triangle GDE and I am putting the sides in proportion, right? So in the smaller triangle, the side opposite to 90 degree is 3x. In the bigger triangle, side opposite to 90 degree is 5x, right? The side opposite to common angle is P and side opposite to common angle is 4x in the bigger triangle. Now we want to know P only, so we have already got that. So no need to write down the third side. So it's P is equal to 12 by 5x. We got this length, we already have this length. Now 10A is actually what? Perpendicular by base. This is perpendicular and this is base, right? So perpendicular is 2x and base is 12 by 5x. So 10A is equal to perpendicular by base. Okay. So that's 5 by 6. We had to find out the value of 10A, that's 5 by 6, right? So figure looks complicated, but the solution to this problem is really very easy. You just see we have taken just 1 or 2 steps to solve this problem, right? So if you have the basic knowledge of trigonometry and its ratios, then it will be really an easy to solve problem, okay? So friends, in the next session we'll be taking more problems. I hope you might have enjoyed this session and you'll be gaining confidence in the problems of geometry now. So let's meet in the next session once again with more problems, more concepts. Bye-bye.